Hey, this is Carl, and today we are going to unbox the Berserker Wolverine, so stay tuned. Okay, so like I said, we're going to unbox the Berserk Wolverine. My voice may be a little bit different today or a little bit rough because I got the flu and I'm a bit sick actually. But I really want to unbox this now since I'm very excited for this statue. I think this is one of the best Wolverines that has shipped this year. The Cruel Wolf Wolverine and the Wolf Killer version 2 Wolverine are also pretty good Wolverines, but I think this one is also quite promising because this is not a museum type statue but actually a diorama. And also I've already worn my unboxing gloves and I bought a new knife to use for unboxing. Okay, so let's start. So the knife is quite sharp. This is actually still a CSGO knife. I think it's called a ghost knife. I'm not sure. The statue does come with an art box. It's quite heavy. So here we have the art box of the Berserk Wolverine. Wolverine is actually quite cute here. And here is the diorama that we're going to unbox. Some dead ninjas, Wolverine, and some swords on Wolverine. On the side, we have the name of the studio. At the back, we have more dead ninjas. And on the side, it just says here, Berserker. And on top, it says Wolverine. Pretty cool art box for sure. Okay, so let's unbox. So we are greeted with the usual black foam and Velcro straps. So let's try and look for the base first. So the base is here, and I can already see some broken parts inside. The base is very, very heavy. So this is the broken part that I saw. It's a hand. 3 of its finger is broken. And actually the hand itself is also broken. Okay, here we have the base. Let's check out the sticker. It's very hard for me to see because it's quite heavy. So here we have the base. Can't carry it anymore. It's actually a rooftop with 2 dead ninjas. And this broken hand seems supposed to be here. I think this would be an easy fix. However, the fingers might be a little tricky. Here's one of the fingers. Let's see if I can look for them. Here's another one. And I can't find the 3rd finger. Anyway, more on that later. So we're back on the top layer. Let me know if any of you guys who have unboxed this statue, if their fingers, the ninja, came broken. Okay, so we have one of Wolverine's arm. This is the left arm. Very, very big muscles. Lots of wounds here and blood. Very, very bloody. Very gory. The claws are not yet installed. We are going to do that later. So yeah, so this is a very battle damaged Wolverine. Next is we have another left arm. This time it doesn't have any battle damages or scars or wounds. So this is a very clean left arm for Wolverine. He does have some these weird textures that are I think supposed to be hair on the skin, but it didn't come out good I think. Anyway, so we have the claws here. These are obviously made out of metal, as you can hear. I'm gonna install them later. Actually, there's a lot of, not gonna pull them out all together. Okay, so we have some 3 arrows here. This will go through Wolverine's body later on. Oh, this will probably be the portraits. Okay, so we have the first portrait. This is a screaming portrait for Wolverine. Very clean, no battle damages or whatsoever. The cowl does have textures on the black parts, but the yellow seems to be very clean. The eyes are painted white, doesn't have any gloss effect on the mouth, but it's okay. It's actually painted quite good, the mouth. Okay, going to the second portrait. So here we have the second portrait. It's a little bit similar to the first one. Okay, so this Wolverine does have a wound here, probably from the ninjas. They probably slice him up real good. So that's why he looks very angry. And finally, we have the last portrait. This one is heavily in battle damage. As you can see, his hair is already coming out of his mask. And as you can see, he is heavily wounded here on his left side of his face. Very nice details. You can definitely see the muscles. And it also has some gloss or wet effect to make the blood more realistic. Really, really cool and does look lifelike. Next is we have a sword, a broken sword. So I'm guessing this is also made out of metal. Again, we have another sword. So we have two of them. Another sword. Now we have three. So we have Wolverine's shoulder pad here. It's painted metallic blue, but a lighter kind of blue, and it's not glossy, which is okay. And we have here 4 shurikens. They are very light. Next is we have some random metal rods here. They kind of look like worms, to be honest. So this will be placed later, I guess. And lastly is we have this, I don't know what this is. It looks like earrings. I'll figure it out later. So that's the last thing on the box. I left some of the claws inside to get them later. We have one of the hands here. I think this is for the ninja. Yeah, this will probably go here. Yeah, so that hand goes here, okay. And again, we have another hand. We're gonna look for where it goes. Also here. Easy peasy. We have the ninja's left foot here. So which ninja is this? Okay, so it goes here. Again, very easy. And finally, the last one on the box is Wolverine himself. Oh wait, we still have this gargoyle. Oh, this is not a gargoyle. This is the portrait stand actually. So this is the portrait stand for this Berserker Wolverine. One of its hair is actually broken, but they painted it green. It's a little bit funny. Okay, so there's nothing much here. Actually, it's just like a demon type of gargoyle, a samurai demon, something. So this is going to hold the portraits that I am not going to use, so I can display them all kind of like this. And finally, we have Wolverine. Okay, so this is not the traditional costume of Wolverine. This is an astonishing Wolverine, similar to the sideshow Wolverine on the Sentinel base. Okay, so this Wolverine does have a lot of textures, like almost all parts of his costume does have textures. The yellow part here, the blue part here. The only parts without texture are this small yellow part here and this thing on his shoulder area. This black thing does have texture as well. It's a leather type of textures. And as you can see, there are random wounds on Wolverine. I think these are for the arrow holes or swords. So we're gonna install them later. And as you can see, his right arm is already installed as well as the shoulder pad. So his left foot does have a key and peg, which will go here on the roof. So we're going to install him now. The key and peg is not all the way in, but I'm not really that bothered because it's very tight right now. So I think it's fine and it's not that visible once you're looking from this angle. And his right foot is actually already touching some part of the base. So I'm kind of hoping that over time he will sit more flush to the base. So yeah, so it's very stable as you can see. Okay, so let's install the clean left arm first, then the shoulder pads. There are 3 holes at Wolverine's back for the arrows, so I'm guessing this is in no specific order. Let's look for the swords. So I'm guessing this very big one is for his sword. Okay, there's actually a arrow here also. Where else can I put the sword? Oh, here, one of the ninjas. Needs a sword. Oh, here. Okay. So we installed the 3 swords. One of each goes to the ninja and the other to Wolverine. And we have some shurikens. So we're gonna use the part with the blood, and we're just going to randomly insert them. Okay, that's 1, 2 here, 3 here. Oh, here. 1 more on his thigh. So I think these earrings are really earrings, and that's for the gargoyle here. He does have a ear. I'm gonna install that later. And we're going to try and install the claws. Okay. So I'm just gonna slowly insert them, not going to really push them in. Okay, 1 claw down. The claws are actually pretty easy to install. And we're going to try the clean portrait of Wolverine. Also, we do have this random rods that I forgot. Don't know which way this goes. You know what? I'm not even going to bother and going to install this. I don't even know where they go. Anyway, I think we've completely assembled Wolverine. Then we're going to try the switchouts. So we're going to assemble the bloody version now. The claws doesn't go actually all the way in. Maybe I could change them. I think there's a problem with this switch out. Okay, so the claws doesn't go inside the areas here. Oh wait, got one in. I think there's a problem with one of the holes. Not all of them. Yeah. Okay, there you go. Okay, so I can't get one of the claws in. I'm not going to force it since it's quite thin and it might actually break. Yeah. So the hole here on his left hand is quite small, so I'm just not gonna force it. However, this one seems to be pretty good, so might as well just use this switch out. Not a fan of the very injured looking Wolverine anyway. Okay, so I just realized that I forgot to turn on the top viewing camera, so there will be less footage of the unboxing for sure. Okay, and let's do a quick measurement on this Berserker Wolverine. The highest point of the statue will be the arrow on here, but let's do a quick measurement first on his shoulder pad, which is around 18 inches tall. And with the arrow, it will be 20 inches tall. So the width of the statue will be around 16 inches. And as for the depth, it will be from Wolverine's claw, obviously, going to one of the ninja's feet on around 17 inches deep. So I did encounter some problems with my statue. First is one of the hair on this gargoyle here on the top, on the front, is broken. The factory just painted it green. It's still very obvious, but it is what it is. Although the portrait stand does look really good, pretty unique, and it's actually sculpted pretty good. Kind of looks like Akuma from Street Fighter. And next problem is that this ninja hand has 3 broken fingers, as well as the hand is also broken. Although I was able to super glue it pretty easily, it's actually not noticeable unless you do look at it up close. But when looking on the front here, you can't hardly see the break since it's at the further back of the statue. What else? I also did find that the paint on Wolverine on his arms is a bit too palish. I don't know why that is. I'm not a fan of that. It looks weird. I did find a lot of 3D print lines in the statue, so I think that's more of a factory problem than the studio. So the factory definitely were lazy and did not clean those 3D prints line. I'm also not a fan of the color here below. The white thing, I'm also not a fan of that. The iron rods that I said that I wouldn't install are already installed here, courtesy to my editor, June. Thank you for that. And what else? So yeah, that's about right. So I'm not going to use this switch out because it's a little bit too gory for me. I mean, it doesn't look bad, it's just not for me. Like I said, it's too gory. Also, I forgot to mention that the claws are very loose. You might want to add something to make them stick. I don't know what you could use. Something very thin, I think. So you could just insert it there. Maybe small paper. Also, one of the claws doesn't go in on one of the holes here. So what I did is I used a heat blower for like 10 to 20 seconds. It was a very easy fix. It's not really a big deal. And before I forget, I also like to mention that we did encounter problems fitting Wolverine in to the base, so I added lotion and it was easily fixed. So not really a big deal, but it was really tight there. I think it's because of the paint making the hole smaller. So yeah, this is a pretty sick concept of Wolverine. Very nice. I know a lot of collectors wanted to buy this, but it's sold out, and I was able to sell a few of them actually. And congrats to everybody who has it. It's a pretty nice Wolverine. It's not your usual blue yellow Wolverine, and it's a diorama. You have a bunch of dead ninjas also at the base. So that's it for me. Like and subscribe. This is Carl, and see you in the next one.